My name is Hong Hui. I'm a psychologist. Thank you very much for Dr. Jerry Drew as well as Dr. Chong Han just now for your very informative talks. So now I'm going to talk about, you know that you have to do it, but your heart is actually stopping you. Then what do you do? So, we healthcare professionals are very concerned about this actually, and we've been doing really trying our best to reach out to you. So there are actually studies, researchers have done studies to survey people to ask why. What are your reasons for not coming forward to do screening or to do your breast self-examination? And they have kind of concluded that there are four main types of barriers that are stopping you from coming forward for the screening or for breast examination. So these are the four different areas, and we are going to look at them one by one. So the first one, which is actually one of the the biggest area, is what happens in your mind. So what are you thinking? What are your thoughts about this situation, about your body condition? What are the doubts you have? What are the beliefs you have about potentially getting breast cancer? Or what entails breast examination or breast screening? Is it that you have some misunderstandings? And just now Jerry covered quite a lot of the different myths that you might have, and these myths are important because we know that our thoughts actually have a direct consequence on what we do and how we feel. So some of the main thoughts people have about not coming forward to, or rather they are stopping them from coming forward for the screening and examination would be they actually do not know that they need periodic or repeat screening. So you people here have a very important role to play actually, other than being responsible for your health, because you all know you have sisters, you have female friends, you have female relatives, because you may actually be then the information vessel. You can go back and share the information you have collected today and share with them, because they are not here today and they don't have the opportunity to find out about such information. And maybe they do not know their risk. So just now you saw from the skit, some people might think that because I don't have a family history and I don't know people around me who has had breast cancer before, so they think that they are safe from that. And so they don't come forward to seek help. But as you see in the statistics just now, the incidence of breast cancer is actually pretty high. They don't think that screening is important. They do not understand how screening can actually help them to detect cancer early and is important part of the prevention process. They don't know the benefits of early detection and how that improves their survival rates. They do not know the logistical information. They don't know where to do it. They don't know how to do it. They don't know the cost involved. So today is a very good platform for you to get all these different questions answered. They may think the screening is uncomfortable or painful. And then lastly, even after they detected some signs, they see some symptoms, it's also part of our culture to look for other kinds of treatment, traditional kinds of treatment. However, when we are seeking these traditional kinds of treatment, it might actually we might actually lose important time involved in quickly assessing the medical treatment important for us to get treated. So this is one big area, what happens in our mind, yeah? But then there are also factors around us, culture, our family, the environmental factors, the people around us, how they are influencing us. So maybe in our culture, we are not that encouraged to talk about our bodies. We may feel quite embarrassed to discuss that. We may feel it's quite embarrassing or awkward to have somebody else we don't know check our bodies, or to have a male physician check our bodies. And we might be very used to then putting other people's needs above ours. So we are so busy taking care of our family members and we kind of forget to also take care of ourselves. So sometimes we might encourage other people to go and do it, but then we ourselves may not do it. And maybe we also feel like we need our family support, because we are so collectivistic. We really need our husband, our daughter, our female relatives, or our friends to be around to kind of give us this community of support, to kind of joke us, hey, come, let's go and do it. And if we don't have that, we might find it difficult to make the first step forward. And sometimes, the people around us, even if we feel the concern, they might downplay the importance because they don't have the relevant information and say, no lah, don't care about it so much lah, you just think too much, which then also prevent us from coming forward to do that. And lastly, we might be afraid that if we were to do that, then how is it going to affect our female relatives or our daughter? We are afraid that it might bring some stigma to our daughters. So, okay, and then, because of these reasons, that they have an emotional impact on us. We feel fearful, we feel doubtful, we feel anxiety, and these emotional reasons then add to the reasons I mentioned just now, and further become another barrier for us to come forward and get our screening or examination done. And lastly, the practical matters. No time, no insurance, not sure how what's the cost involved, whether it's covered by MediSave, so on and so forth. Okay, so what do you do then? Because most of the reasons actually start from what we think about the issue, then a lot of these doubts that we have can actually be addressed by information, by getting information, like what you have done today, coming forward, participating in this, which gives you a chance to get information, to ask questions, to get your doubts clarified. This is really important because when you get your doubts clarified, you kind of address an area of concern and a source of worry and anxiety. So you kind of have dealt with many different barriers at the same time when you have correct information. You know what to do, you know where to go, you know what is the cost involved. You then feel more assured. So when you're asking questions, think about the 4 W's and 1 H. What is this about? What does it entail? Why do I need to do it? What is the reason? And then when can you do it? How often do you need to do it? Where can you do it? And lastly, how can you go about doing it? So even for us, then when we are giving you information, we got to think about these 4 W's and the 1 H. We try to give you this information, and even if we feel like we have not answered those questions, then the onus is also on you to ask us questions, the doubts that you have, because every one of you will have different questions in your mind actually. The second area is really the social support. Now, maybe come together with your 姐妹, your sisters, your relatives, your families, your communities. It could be a workplace, going for a health campaign, participating in a health campaign kind of thing, or going with your neighbors, all these different areas. Feel like you have this social support around you to come forward together. You feel this sense of when you have people around you, that usually is a very good motivating factor for you to also address some of the anxiety and fear that you have. And then lastly, familiarity. So familiarity gives us anxiety and fear as well. So if you have a regular physician, maybe this will be the place you start to get some of these questions answered. Maybe if you feel apprehensive, you can go right to the place you usually see doctor, because you know the place, you feel comfortable in the environment, and then you go there and do your check. Or if you are thinking about potentially there's a male physician, you don't feel so comfortable, then maybe a female nurse around is going to be able to allay your concerns as well. So that sense of familiarity will also address some of the anxiety and fear that you have. So before I end my part today, I would just want to encourage you really, since you are here, to ask as many questions as you have. Think about the questions you have at the moment, and then take this opportunity to raise them, because that will do really a lot in addressing the barriers that we talk about. Bring this information back to your friends and family. I see some male audience as well. Your role in terms of encouraging your partner, your relatives, or your friends actually would be very important as well. So with that, I end my part. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Lin. Thank you very much. Thank you.